June 14th, 2024, Wrestling Inc. Scottish Smackdown edition. I am Glenn Rubenstein, joined by my man Flobo Boyce. Flobo, it's been a week since we've been together.
Yeah.
I've been to the Apex, the UFC Apex.
Oh,
I've seen NXT live.
And?
I have, it was great. It was a great show. I wish you could have come out.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Had to cover it for Wrestling Inc., you know? They had me chained to my desk.
I feel you. But tonight, we're going to talk everything about WWE in Glasgow. Man, Clash at the Castle tomorrow is going to be lit. This crowd, we're going to talk about the ups. We're also going to talk a little bit about the downs. We're going to keep it real. And we're going to talk about the most exciting new pairing that's setting the internet ablaze.
Me? You?
Not only us.
Oh.
But cruise ships, Corpalo.
Oh, no.
We're going to talk about it all.
Team.
We're going to talk about it all. Before we get into SmackDown, though, what's going on in the news?
Well, it's Cody Rhodes. No, I'm just kidding. First top story here, based on what our producers at Wrestling Inc. tell us to talk about, is the 20th anniversary of Hell in a Cell is this year. It looks to be that the case. The 25th anniversary, is it? Yes. And so I bring back an old school name, and that name would be Bad Blood. Now, if you remember, that was the pay-per-view where the first Hell in a Cell appeared, as well as one of the first Raw specific branded pay-per-views. But being able to bring back that nameplate was all for nostalgia. Thoughts about Bad Blood making a reappearance?
I mean, I think it's cool when they revive old stuff. I don't know that has the sentimentality of some of the beloved WCW pay-per-views that have found new life through NXT, even In Your House, I think, because that was quite a franchise. Yeah. So, I think
I want Slamboree, man. I'm waiting for Slamboree to come back.
Hey, when are we bringing back Great Balls of Fire? It's been 7 years.
That's fine. We don't gotta.
Yeah, we're due for another Great Balls of Fire.
No, we're not due. We're not due for Great Balls of Fire.
License the song. Let's do it.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Random. So
yeah,
random.
I know. So random. But no, I think Bad Blood's cool. It'll be good. I wonder if they'll use the Taylor Swift song.
True. Yeah, I see it. Taylor Swift performing live at a PLE in Sheboygan. Why not?
You think it's going to be? Well, yeah, it's got to be. You think it's going to be in the U.S. or you think they're going to go overseas for this one?
I would keep it here. I mean, I don't see it. Those fall or winter pay-per-views to me is your bottle episodes, right? You want to save your money in your capital.
Well, I mean, go to Moscow in the winter.
Yeah, you won't be able to come out of Moscow.
I don't know. I was just trying to think of the most random place I could think of where you probably don't want to go in the winter.
Atlantis. That's what I want to go.
Atlantis. The Lost Continent or the Bahamas?
Yeah, well, I was referring to the Bahamas, but yes, I think I found the Lost Continent and then have a PLE there. Oh my gosh.
It'd be amazing. But no, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, I like that they're trying some different things.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how they're bringing back some of the nostalgia. Hell in a Cell was an innovative concept when it was released. I think it kind of got kind of done with overuse for a bit. But if you're going to bring it back sparingly, why not give it a little tinge of nostalgia?
Yeah. What else we got?
Well, get this. Drew McIntyre is in Scotland, obviously, going back to his home country. We talked about this last week. Is now being inducted to the Scottish Wrestling Hall of Fame. Imagine that. Drew Galloway himself, from WWE to TNA and NXT and back, is now getting his flowers from the Scottish professional wrestling outfit. I don't say the government, but it wasn't the government. But he's a Hall of Famer now, man.
Yeah. Good for him. I think this is all going very well.
Yeah.
You think he wins tomorrow?
I'm torn. I feel like typically when someone challenges for the title with the same opponent, they don't win the first time. They kind of get in the rematch. But if you believe in make goods and momentum, Drew McIntyre, it seems a lot hotter right now. Cuts a better promo. Didn't win at the last Clash at the Castle. It will make total sense if he walked away the champ.
So breaking, moments ago, Tatum Paxley showed up on TNA to answer Jordan Grace's open challenge.
TNA's on Fridays? I guess you should watch it Thursday nights, but maybe I'm just a week behind.
Right now,
good
Tatum
on her.
Paxley is in TNA.
Good on her. Tatum Paxley needs to make that forbidden door, unallowed window thing happen. Why not?
WWE, and this is, again, speculation, WWE is so going to try and buy TNA, or at least a piece of it. They have to at this point. You don't do things like this just cause. Even New Japan and AEW have some overlap. I believe isn't AEW like on the New Japan World streaming service in Japan?
Sure.
Like, yeah, there's got to be something there. Something has got to happen with this.
Well, look, I won't disagree. I feel like WWE has have a storied history of acquiring libraries and brands and all that jazz. But if this were not to be the case, I don't see why not. Again, it's a down period for WWE. I mean, SummerSlam is a big PLE, but it doesn't have the WrestleMania hype. Why not get people talking? Slammiversary is TNA's thing. There's nothing wrong with an alliance for now. Yeah, let's get to buy it.
Yeah, but AEW does that because it's Tony Khan's company and he can freewheel and deal. WWE TKO is a publicly traded company,
right?
They don't just do things.
Riddle me this though. Let's say you have talent that are on NXT and they're pretty much finished products like Tatum Paxley, but not quite ready to be called up. Why not have that alliance without having to buy them out? Just say, hey, look, I need a finishing school, some indie flavor in your seasoning.
I think they tried to do that with Gigi Dolan and Ariana Grace, and it didn't work.
Yeah, or Evolve. Remember that when we were trying to make Evolve the NXT to NXT for a week?
But weren't they didn't they have some financial stake? They did something with Evolve.
Yeah, they had a financial stake, but it was like their school for if you wanted to become a producer, if you wanted to become a main eventer and a lower stake in this environment, and then they bought them out outright. So you could be right. I'm just giving off some devil's advocate stuff.
No, I'm just thinking that because the CW, there's a lot of people in NXT, and I thought this at Battleground. There's a lot of people in NXT that shouldn't be in NXT anymore. Like they've graduated.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like they're ready to ascend. They're at the top of their, they're entering like a peak phase. And I think that you need something kind of in between. And I think that there will be Level Up, which is the real like proving ground. Then you'll have TNA, and then you'll have NXT on the CW, which is still technically network television.
Level Up needs a better viewing window, though. Like if you miss it live, you're like boned till tomorrow on Hulu. Yeah. Can we talk about Alicia's question? Or
what she want to know?
She goes, I'm still bummed they dropped the Georgina and Ariana storyline on NXT. Granted, it's not an NXT show. I kind of was too because I hated it so much, but it was definitely something that made me feel something. I think NXT has been good, but it's been pretty even. So yeah, give me some storylines that I particularly don't care for, but don't have a conclusion like this one.
Well, I'll tell you, I wanted to stand up and cheer. I didn't because I was sitting comfortably on my couch, but I wanted to stand up and cheer when Thea Hale went off on Chase U on Tuesday.
Oh. I'm just curious, what kind of couch do you have? Like a multi-sectional?
I got like a U.
Ottomans?
Yeah, I got like a U shape.
All right, yeah, I bet that. Yeah, I see that. Well, you know what Thea Hale is due. I love Chase U as a concept, but it's pretty much run its course, and so why not get out there and like, you guys are all idiots, and Ridge is weird. I'm out.
Ridge is weird. What else is going on in the news?
And lastly, here on the news items, The Rock says they're on the 1 yard line for making the best WrestleMania main event of all time. Now, Rocky was supposed to be involved in that against Roman originally, and that got changed last year's WrestleMania. And after the WrestleMania festivities on the Monday Night Raw thereafter, The Rock gave Cody Rhodes an item and said, I have to go away for a while. So, it's going to be something that has to get picked up. But The Rock says he is working tirelessly, almost only one man can, to make sure that next year's WrestleMania in Las Vegas is the greatest ever.
Okay, there you go. Roman versus The Rock. You think? Yeah, I mean, Cody versus The Rock could also be pretty dope.
I don't know anymore. I feel like Roman was so hot that the Roman versus Rock is the one we want to see. That's the one we were wanting for years. I'm not saying Roman can't get there, but we don't know how long Roman has to be off the shelf to sell this new bloodline, especially if we're doing the War Games thing that everyone's predicting. So I don't know. I like them both, Rock versus Cody and Rock versus Roman, but I think everyone still wanted that dream match of Rock versus Roman.
I feel like the new bloodline's going over like New Coke.
I like New Coke. It's great.
It was Flobo. Flobo was the entire audience for New Coke.
I was like 2 years old when it happened, so I can't even tell.
Yes. Okay. They're going over as well as Crystal Pepsi.
Oh, those are dope, though. I had one a couple years ago. Yeah.
I like Crystal Pepsi. It was
all right, Pepsi Blue. It's going over like Pepsi Blue.
Okay, there you go. Anyhow, let's see what happens. It'll be good. But let's talk about tonight.
Boo.
Coming to you
Yes.
from Glasgow, Scotland, Naomi versus Chelsea Green.
Green.
Bailey coming out to hype up the crowd tonight. Man, they love them some Bailey. They just love that chant.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're Piper Niven, and I don't know if you saw the press kickoff, they're not really conferencing
Oh, how was
anymore.
that?
It pretty much standard fare there, but it was a stare down, right? Piper Niven's from Scotland, but the crowd was singing the Bailey chant. It was kind of like, "Damn, Piper, in your hometown, you gonna take that, bro?" you know. And even though she's the last from Kilburn, I really thought there'd be more people on her side. But everyone loves Bailey. I like Bailey, and it totally works out here. Why not start the show with the role model?
That is kind of crazy, though. They're like, I mean, because in theory, I see what you did there. I mean, in theory, yeah, Piper makes all the sense in the world being from Scotland, and it is tough to get that. I mean, Zelina at Backlash was not overshadowed by Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley was over, but
Right.
Zelina was still queen.
Oh, absolutely. But ironically, in Elimination Chamber Perth, I felt like people were trying to like strain to pop for Ripley. It was like, oh, you're Rhea Ripley, but like, hey guys, let's give a little more juice. You know?
Yeah. So this opening match is interesting. It kind of tells you where Chelsea Green's at. They love her on TV. She's a great TV character, and she could definitely wrestle. But it's like Naomi gets the win tonight. Bailey's getting that win tomorrow against Piper. Like, they didn't even try and suspend. I mean, they had Piper look a little dominant tonight, but this wasn't like, oh my God, the heels had this massive victory. What's going to happen tomorrow? It was like, nope, baby faces are winning both nights.
Oh yeah, like I don't know if you can do that with Piper because I don't think I quite believe in her. But like, if there's a way that you could have given me a Gorilla Press slam or something and be like, oh man, Bailey's never been manhandled like that. How could she find a way? It's like, yeah, it's an exhibition match. We all know what's going on. It's gonna be great. They're gonna cheer for her a little bit, but it's gonna be Bailey coming out with the title.
I believe in you, Piper Niven.
Not today, but I do.
I do.
It's
hope
an unwritten rule in professional wrestling and WWE. If you're one half of a tag team, you get like debuffed by like 20 overall points on 2K if you're half of a tag team.
we'll see what happens tomorrow. It'll be a good match, but yeah, Bailey is so over. This was followed up. So Naomi got that win. Naomi also over. I like the unicorn gear. I thought that was pretty cool. Grayson Waller effect. Grayson's out there with Austin Theory. They bring out DIY. And I like Gargano was talking to Austin Theory saying, you got to drop this chump. You know, we got a past. And I'm playing that card. You know, and then Grayson clocking Gargano.
Yeah, it's I like the idea of trying to drive a wedge. You know, even Ciampa was asking, what are you doing? Theory, like Grayson Waller's show, his name's in the marquee. What are we doing? But at this,
Grayson saying it was very expensive. We can't change the graphics,
which is the most corporate answer ever, which is even great because it kind of stokes the fire by quelling it at the same time. But that's a question I've always had. Whether or not it's Jade and Bianca, Grayson Waller and Austin, there's two similar guys with similar sensibilities being put together. We start feeling they're a bit redundant. So if I'm Austin Theory now more than ever, I would say character-wise you have to be different. But DIY did ask the tough questions. Why do I believe in you as much as I should believe in the physically appearingly weaker Grayson Waller when he has all the charisma?
I mean, I think they make sense as a tag team.
Do they?
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, because they're so similar. They're like,
that's terrible, though. Do you think these guys go to the same gym, bar, church? I don't.
They're like the Marvel and DC version of each other got paired up together.
That's terrible. That's like a 3-week miniseries. That's it.
It's been going on for like a year.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, Grayson Waller has all this charisma. I guess Austin Theory belongs somewhere, and he has a better bicep and core. But that's it. And I think the longer they stay together, the more I ask Theory, what are you doing to be different?
Yes. What should they do? Maybe one of them should wear red and the other one blue. One wears black, the other wears white.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe each of them paints a different half of their face, so it's like a mirror image thing.
Like the Usos? The original Usos?
Yeah, but it's mirrored, so when they look at each other, it's like a mirror. And they could do that mirror improv exercise.
Oh, I hate those.
Yeah.
Short form guys, I don't know, man.
Breaking news: Tatum Paxley lost to Jordan Grace.
Oh man, I bet the rent on Tatum Pax. Thanks a lot, Ricky Bolivar. Can I borrow your couch?
And this was at TNA Against All Odds, which is going on right now.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Against All Odds is Friday and Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Saturday nights.
Yeah. Friday night pay-per-view. I like it.
Wait, should be.
Yeah.
Like, we grew up on Sundays, and that makes sense, but, like, there's a reason why SummerSlam's my favorite pay-per-view, is because it was the only one I could, like, sleep in because I didn't have school, you know?
What about Santos Escobar versus Apollo Crews? And Baron Corbin comes to the ring to try and even the odds a little bit, because we got Angel.
Okay, so walk me through this, Glenn, because you're the smartest guy on this podcast. I'm just a lowly bumping a log. Santos Escobar and Legado de Fantasma, they get called up. There's a personnel swap. You're stronger than ever. They take months and months of losses. Angel tries to recruit somebody in Andrade. He says no. And then because they interfered in Apollo's match, they beat him up last week for funsies. And now Apollo Crews gets his revenge because he got beat up and embarrassed. And now Baron Corbin's involved. Like, if you're Legado de Fantasma, I got to ask you the Final Testament question. What is your goal? To be the best Lucha Squad for titles? Because you're doing none of those right now.
What's up with the Final Testament?
I don't know. Raw is a total black hole when they're on the screen.
Okay. But Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews, old-time rivals, perhaps turned allies.
Yeah, Baron Corbin's a babyface? That never happened. It's been years.
Well, I mean, the Wolf Dogs kind of were babyfaces.
He was a reluctant guy that was turning face. Braun Breaker was like, come on, guys, let's do this thing.
Yeah, but it kind of worked, though, you know?
I mean, it did. But I'd never think that Baron Corbin would be the guy to make a save. That's kind of cool. The Lone Wolf making saves now?
Yeah. Corpalo. I like cruise ships. Cruise ships are good, but people might not get the burn the ships thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Cruise ships.
Yeah, Corpalo. People yell it out. Everyone's going to be chanting Corpalo.
Will that be seen as a dumbed down version of the Wolf Dogs or whatever?
Well, they're not wolves and dogs. So
no, what I'm saying is, like, people are thinking like, oh, Braun Breaker to Apollo Crews, is that a downgrade?
I don't think. Well, I mean, Crews and Braun were friends when Crews was a vigilante patrolling the streets of Orlando and meeting Braun for breakfast.
Oh yeah, and seeing the future, right?
Yeah. So I mean, he likes to journal.
I mean, who doesn't? I have one right here.
Do you ever go back and reread it?
Oh yeah, I had the worst handwriting ever.
Okay. That's the part I don't like. Like, the exercise of writing something is good, but please, I don't want to ever have to reread my writing.
Yeah. Do you write it or do the old online journal thing?
No, I mean, I don't. I just don't have the time.
Forgot you're busy with your agent and all that stuff. I get it.
No, it's just that. I mean, I think a lot. Like, I reflect.
I should hope so.
No, I like to reflect on things.
Okay.
You know, I like to just sort of ponder.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should start a podcast where it's just Glenn's thoughts.
Oh man, that is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
If you're doing anything about pondering, that could be totally a 4-hour long podcast.
Yeah, just be like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. And I'll just say that. I'll have to get a filter to, like, edit that out. No? Yet even with the seeds of Corpalo being planted, that was not enough. Apollo Crews lost to Santos Escobar.
Yeah, I mean, look, Santos needs a little bit of his own momentum starting. It makes sense on paper that Apollo Crews got the loss, especially the way he did, shoulders down, because his conflict was with Angel. So it didn't really make sense, even if he did win, what would that mean for getting his retribution? So I hope it's not done. I just wonder whether or not we're going to get a full-blown tag team out of this one in Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin.
Yeah, we'll see. But we went from that to Cody Rhodes.
Whoa!
The sweetheart of Scotland and America. Out to talk to the crowd, where he's confronted by AJ Styles, who were there with Gallows and Anderson from Las Vegas to Scotland.
Yeah.
These guys got it pretty good.
Got the same private jet Michin did.
This was a good promo because AJ confronted Cody and labeled him a quitter, much like Eminem once did to Everlast. AJ was it's deep cut for a hip hop head.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
You get it. You
I'm a man of a certain age, though. I'm not sure the kids get it.
Yeah. So AJ said you quit WWE. You went to Japan, you quit New Japan, you went to Ring of Honor, you quit Ring of Honor, and then you started a company, which you did not say by name, and you quit that too. And I was like, this is a really good promo. Like, this is a solid dig at Cody. And Cody's like, I didn't quit. I believed in myself and chased new opportunities. And I was like, yeah, dude, but you kind of quit.
I mean, he did, but you want to tell me who won that promo? It was actually Cody. Don't tell Issa, though. I'm sorry, we can't mention her name. But don't tell Issa, because I do feel like AJ being like, you're a quitter. Well, then again, you didn't really quit against Seth Rollins. But I'm not Seth Rollins. It was the worst backpedal I've seen ever.
I mean, it is true. He's not Seth Rollins. He is right.
Boo.
Yeah, it was it was gold for a bit, and then it was just like, okay, this is just all right now.
What that?
But yeah, that crowd was not calmed down.
Hey, I like Boney M. I like Daddy Cool. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. And they called it Earth, Wind, and Fire, which is totally wrong. I was so mad. It's Boney M.
Well, I mean, Boney M's, it's what's his face? Milli Vanilli guy.
Was it? No,
Yeah,
it was before that.
Yeah, I know. That's
producer.
what he did before. Not Frank Farian.
Oh,
so
okay,
Boney
gotcha.
M is actually Frank Farian singing a lot of those songs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know the people were like from like all over the Caribbean or something. But anyway, Daddy Cool was the theme, and I was fine with it. And the reason why it seemed like it was too much, but I liked it, is because I want that reminder that they're going over to these foreign countries to do the SmackDown as well.
Okay.
Because I'm like, you can always pre-tape the SmackDown a week before, but they don't do that. What's the point of going to San Juan? What's the point of going to Glasgow? Give me some of that stuff.
I mean, here's the thing. We were talking about this a little off the air. This is the new trend. If it's not like a big 4, big 6 pay-per-view, basically for half the pay-per-views for the year now, it's great. They're going to take them to international locations. It's great. Or national in the case of Puerto Rico, exotic locations. It's great. They're going to do that. The crowd is going to be off the hizzy. That's how off the hook it is. It's off the hizzy.
Off the hook and off the hizzy.
Yes, both.
Oh, wow.
Yes. The crowd's gonna be insane, but the storyline, because the crowd's so insane, like WWE only has to work 30% as hard for these pops.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great for the live crowd.
Sure.
But for us watching it week in and week out, it's kind of like going, okay, well,
okay, all that depends. If you're somebody who says, look, I had a long week, I just want to kick back with my favorite beverage and watch like tie-ups and wrist locks and snap snaps. Yes, it is absolutely filler, and it pisses you off or ticks you off. I'm not sure if I can say that word on the show. But at the same time, if you watch the entertainment aspect of it, you go in all these different countries, you want to see what it looks like. I haven't bought the pay-per-view, quote unquote. Give me a slice of what to expect at the PLE. This made this SmackDown feel different. This wouldn't happen in Wilkes-Barre. This wouldn't happen in Des Moines.
Potentially. No, here's what I think about this. It's kind of like I think did we talk about this before? Did I make this comparison before? It's like when the Brady Bunch went to Hawaii or the Grand Canyon or Magic Mountain. When Happy Days went to Hawaii and they jumped over a shark. I'm not saying that SmackDown has jumped the shark. I'm saying that these episodes, yeah, it's great to go to an exotic locale. People love to watch their favorite characters travel the world.
Right.
But the storylines of these episodes, once you get over, hey, we're in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Once you get over that, storyline's kind of thin.
It's like when TJF goes to Disneyland every year, or Disney World every year. I don't know. Maybe because I'm coming from like the fan that's seeing sports tourism blow up. I mean, the MLB series in London, Formula One goes over the world like Street Fighter. I'm okay with knowing full well the SmackDown before a PLE tends to be filler anyway, with some locale things like the interview of Scottish talent and the theme songs and stuff to give me a slice of what I'm missing for the PLE. I'm okay with that personally, but I understand if someone's like, hey man, stop the crap, give me my match or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
Are you?
No, I am. I mean, it's fun to watch wrestlers go to exotic locations.
Hmm.
You know what they should do? Actually, you know what they should do, but WWE doesn't have. I mean, they do have the crew for this. I don't know how they coordinate it. Wouldn't it be amazing if instead of backstage, some of the stuff we saw tonight was happening like they were like, I don't know. What if Grayson, Waller, and Austin Theory were touring a bagpipe factory in Scotland, and they
Yeah.
ran into DIY, and then they got into it there, and they're like, instead of just like there was a fight and bagpipes were involved.
Oh yeah. See, that makes sense. I think the bigger foreign PLEs will have that time and them being up there a week to do this stuff. But I don't think we even got that in Saudi last month when they were doing the SmackDown out there as well. I think they kind of landed Thursday to do some things and that's it. But I'm with you. Give me more things outside of the city to make me go, I gotta go. I want to go see it. If you're going to tell me that you're going to tour worldwide and I should be there, sell the location as well.
Yeah. What if Piper Niven was hanging out with Chelsea Green and going, "Oh my God, we're gonna try local Scottish food. Like, I'm gonna show you my favorite dishes." And Chelsea was like, "This is really good. What is it?" And she's like, "It's haggis." And punchline, you know.
That's very WCW of you, but yeah, okay.
I'm just saying, like, let's get a little more involved. Yeah,
it's very cartoonish. That is.
yeah, I know. Like, we could have wah. Like, we could have
Right.
done the whole thing. It would have been great.
That's like late period NXT right before the relaunch.
Yeah, I'm saying if you're traveling to these places, let's do a little more to just to give it that local flair, you know?
Okay, so what more do you want? You got the crowd chanting, you got the Scottish flags going everywhere, you got people getting random promos like Isla Dawn who never gets promo time. I mean,
Yeah,
it's on
that
short
was
notice.
cool. Isla and Alba getting TV time was great. We'll talk about that. But
Sure.
no, I think that I'm just saying, give us a little more on location. That's all. Just a little
Fair
more
enough. Fair enough.
for the people at home. For the people at home.
If NXT UK was around, that'd be the perfect time to do cross promotion.
And by the way, Battleground, they could have done more. We saw like Fraxium out on the strip and stuff, but they could have done more with Battleground. They showed us. I mean, now from what I understand, the travel schedule was quite tight for NXT to come out to Vegas, but they should have had, instead of just the little vlogs of like, I'm on a plane, I'm in my hotel room. Like they should have had,
Yeah.
like, I mean, when Baron Corbin won all his money back, when they were in Vegas, like just give us
It was a
little
missed
feel.
opportunity to give somebody who wasn't on the card, like Alexis King, the hosting
Yeah.
duties, have them fly out a week before or do the whole like, it's my coronation in Vegas. You know what I mean? And have them do random stuff. But
And like he woke up like in a bathtub packed with ice.
okay.
No, I don't know.
Do the hangover?
Yeah,
Hangover
something,
too?
something. I'm just saying for those watching at home, like, look, I get it. It's hard to present fresh and compelling. You only have so much talent to do fresh and compelling wrestling matchups every week that are going to be things we've never seen before. But what you can do is remember you're a TV show and you're not confined to the arena. The live crowd's there at the arena and the live crowd's great, but make the most, maximize the travel. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
You know, when they go for Money in the Bank,
It's Toronto. That's not really. I mean, it's a foreign country, but it's not really a big.
it's exotic Toronto. They can go to the CN Tower.
Steam Whistle Brewery. Fine.
Sure.
Eating poutine.
Yeah. At a Tim Hortons, I'm just saying.
Dude, if they go all the way to Canada and end up in a Tim Hortons, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
That's it?
But it's interesting that they mentioned New Japan, Ring of Honor, but they would not say AEW during this. And we had Cody accusing AJ of pretending to be Mark Henry for a night to get a title shot. I like that.
I mean, that was a dope suit.
Yeah. We went from this to Michin against Nia Jax. Michin had a great showing at Battleground. Is crushing out in NXT, and Nia Jax beat her pretty handily tonight.
Yep, take that NXT. That don't mean nothing. I'm not really sure what Michin's doing. I'm not sure what OC's doing. I'm not even sure what AJ's doing. But I guess if you have these moving parts flying around, why not have them on TV time when you try to figure out what to do with them? If someone's going to get squashed, why not have someone who's on NXT right now?
And in a second, we're going to talk about good example of exactly what I want to see more of. But we did have a recap of Logan Paul in that Tetris tournament, which they hyped up last week. And even Logan was like, yeah, I lost, got my butt handed to me by like some 14-year-old. And that Tetris tournament is the most notable and newsworthy thing Logan Paul has done in the last week.
Really? That's it? That is the most notable thing.
That's all.
That's all he did. There was
All
an
he did.
episode of Impulsive this week that dropped.
No, it was that Tetris tournament.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. Just
I don't really follow podcasts or YouTube channels. Why? Was something important? Tell me off there.
Okay, I will.
We'll figure it out.
The streets have been chatting, dude. They've been discussing.
Yeah, I, as far as I know, the headlines I saw the most was Logan Paul enters Tetris tournament.
Yep, that's it. I hit Logan
And,
Paul,
like,
news tab, Tetris, all day.
Yeah,
long.
everybody. I mean, like it was everywhere. Okay, so let's talk about what I loved. They need to do more of this. Logan Paul goes home in Puerto Rico to his palatial estate, and his friend from LA is there, and it's LA Knight lounging in the pool, just making himself at home.
Yeah.
This was great. This was really fun.
Really?
I thought so.
Yeah.
It was everything it needed to be in an entertaining 90 seconds.
True, but I have to raise a question. If you are the in story, in character, if you're LA Knight, you go all the way over there. Don't you want to get a shot in, like a punch, a kick, a shove in the water? Like you're just gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, he's home, peace." Like
they could have done something cool with the pool, but I get why they probably didn't want to do it. Like, but I even liked when LA was like, "Oh, see you in Cleveland next week." Just like, peace out of here. Like, it was silly, but it was fun. It was TV, Flobo. This was television.
Oh, look, man, next time I look at NXT Battleground and tickets are $275, I'm going to know why. Because you flew out of LA Knight to do 10 seconds and no contact.
Do you think that was really Puerto Rico, or do you think they just rented a house?
I guess to me, make more sense. I think it's like in Orlando somewhere.
I mean, yeah. I mean, not that Orlando's... The climate of Orlando is very similar to Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. More humid in Puerto Rico.
It's better than Glasgow. Boo.
It was fun. This was a fun segment. This match, I wonder if it's gonna be Money. I feel like this should be at SummerSlam, but I guess it's gonna be a Money in the Bank.
You got a hot shot it now. There's too many PLEs are up now that you just can't hold it, right? Because you got Money in the Bank, and then you got SummerSlam, and I think there's what's right after that. There's like one more already announced right after that, right?
Is that Bad Blood or is that in October?
Yeah, so the Hell in a Cell as well. So yeah, why not? And the thing is, the way it is, you'll have multiple rematches or stipulations or triple threats or what have you.
Now, it would have been better because they were in Scotland. It would have been better if they flew them to Scotland and there was a segment where, Logan was out hunting for the Loch Ness Monster and then LA Knight interrupted him.
See, Loch Ness Monster hunting is tailor-made for Pretty Deadly. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. There was that segment where they showed us Ashanti and Cedric in the audience. They showed us Pretty Deadly in the audience. That was kind of weird.
Weird, but cool, I guess. I mean, if you got the SmackDown roster and this draft, which I'm never a fan of drafts, but this draft, everyone's saying, hey, look, man, nobody really moved. It wasn't really exciting. Well, then now you're showing us some of the toys, the broken toys that don't get TV time. Why not? Toys. They are. Like, I love broken toy shows. WWE ECW, Velocity. These are just guys that never had a chance. Put them on. Level Up, for example. So, yeah, was I asking for an Ashanti, the Adonis, and Cedric Alexander tag team? No. But you're going to give it to me? I'll check it out. Why not?
Okay. It's nice that they flew them over there for this.
Alternates, I guess.
Alternates. In case.
Yeah.
Do you think sometimes people are backstage and thinking, okay, if 6 talents miss their flights, I'm on the air, baby.
I'm serious. Like, that's the reason why I couldn't be a wrestler. Back then, now I'm too old. But back then, it was like, I have to go everywhere with my gear, get suited up, and I may not even be on the show. So I just sit there.
That part is crazy.
Yeah.
Because at a moment's notice, how often do you think that's happened? I would love to know from like Brian Gerwitz or a producer or something, how often they had to actually use that standby talent.
I don't know, but I've PA'd for WWE before in Ontario, California. Yeah, at the Toyota Center, and they'll bring in local talents, and sometimes they'll bring like 20 guys or 15 to 20 guys. You may get lucky and be security, or it might be a paramedic, but most guys are dressed in case there is either a squash match or a schmaz backstage, and they can sit there all day and then be sent home. Like, I can't do that. Do you know how much pads involved? You know how much fishnets are involved?
Well, do you think it's more predictable now that they don't have someone changing their mind while the show's on the air?
So yes, it could be more predictable, but at the same time, you're going to have to get alternate people that can fit different sizes and shapes anyway,
Sure.
right? Because let's say you want to give Braun a matchup. Yeah, you can give him 3 skinny guys, or you can give him like an Obafemi sized jobber. It's up to you. So you still need that cattle call aspect and may not use him anyway.
Making the most of that beautiful large arena tonight, Carmelo Hayes cut a promo. He's entering Money in the Bank. He's going to win and be mellow in the bank. What do you think about how Carmelo is doing on the main roster?
I'm torn. So I like Carmelo Hayes. I think we sung his praises for years in NXT. It's unfortunate he was in front of a guy with a very distracting face and his son. I kept looking at him like, is he going to do something? But I will think Carmelo is the first time I've ever seen him trying to be a heel, right? I felt like there was a time on NXT where he was like an effortless, I'm him, but now he's like, this town sucks. Am I right? And you're like, oh man, this is kind of rough. So I got faith in the talent. I hope people come around. But right now, it just doesn't seem like the Carmelo where he fell in love with.
Yeah. It's different. It feels different. I'm not saying better. I'm not saying worse. I'm just saying it feels different. You know?
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, I don't know. Like, great thing is if the storyline heats up, I think Money in the Bank could be great for him. I wonder if they would do that so early, though.
Doubt it. How many rookies have ever won Money in the Bank? Besides Brock Lesnar. That's the only person I can think of. Like, it definitely is somebody who's been heating up for a while. I'm not sure who's qualified. But if Chad Gable were a Money in the Bank winner, I'll go, it would make sense. Not my pick, but it would make sense.
Okay.
Not a Carmelo, not a Braun Breaker, not an Ilya Dragunov. It's just too new for the rookies.
Yeah, it does seem like there's a lot of fresh talent. So after that, we had Solo Sikoa versus Kevin Owens in the main event. I liked the backstage segment with the Street Profits and KO and B-Fab.
Yeah, I guess that super heelish edge from Lashley's all but evaporated. So if you wanted to see the heel Street Profits, you're out of luck. But look, that's their natural spot. Them being the overhyped guys who can show to the bees to be over the top and be mean and hit hard. So why not give me some of that? That's what we are used to. I'm not sure how B-Fab still fits in this. Is she a business associate? Is she a mentor? Is she a trainee? Hasn't been discussed, but I think this is where they need to be.
That kind of rhymed.
Hey.
I think this match was good, but you kind of knew that the Bloodline was going to come out and attack. Like, it didn't matter who won. In fact,
Really?
You don't think so?
I thought it was going to be thrown out. I thought it would have been straight up like, haha, we fooled you, Aldis. And then they would get disqualified, and then we'll have some fallout for next week. But we didn't get that. We got a clean.
But you knew they were showing up. Randy Orton coming out was a nice surprise.
I think coming out's a loose term. He kind of jogged out, took his time, checked the mail.
I mean, hey, he showed up, right?
Yeah, he did show up.
That's what matters.
It does.
He made his appearance. The crowd got to sing his theme song.
Which props are doing it now after France.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. It was a fun way to end the show. So are we getting a match out of all this?
The Bloodline stuff is thankfully being put on ice for Clash, and it should be, because I think even though they're building on New Bloodline, there are some things that have to really let us know why should we care. Everyone who has a conflict with them now is really having a conflict with Roman, so Solo doesn't have his own enemies, or Tonga doesn't have his own enemies as of yet, except for Randy Orton. So if you really want this to be your long-term War Games, WrestleMania storyline, don't rush it through Clash at all.
Yeah.
Especially with so many Scottish talent that are getting their opportunity.
Yeah. It felt like a good ending, but I think, man, the crowd, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. It's hard to gauge because you have to really, and I did like KO almost making it seem like he was at least going to slam powerbomb Paul Heyman through the table. But we knew that wasn't going to happen. But it does seem like, the problem with going to these different locations is the bar is so low to get the crowd to pop that the crowd's on all night, even regardless of the actual content.
That a problem?
It kind of. Okay, imagine you're watching a stand-up comedy set.
Okay.
and the crowd's laughing like every joke is the funniest joke they've ever heard.
Correct.
But what if some of the jokes aren't that funny?
Well, that depends. So if you're asking me, like, am I putting on a Netflix special? Yes, give me all the laughs because I'm distracted by so many things. If I'm at the club and everyone's already rolling in the aisles, that could be annoying. But that's the thing. You're a prisoner of the moment. Now, when you watch a Chappelle special, if you do, I'm not sure if you do, everyone kind of knows what you're into. So he doesn't have to do much and it pops the crowd. Which is kind of like a cool thing. But when you watch someone who's up and coming, who has to earn their jokes, then that's just a natural order of things. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different kind of flavor.
I want people to be receptive, but I'm just saying, like, don't, like, let's, like, you got to kind of judge things on a curve. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I get it. But at the same time, we do these shows in France and we go, damn, how come American artists can't do that, bro? You can't ask us to be sitting on our hands. Like, it's just, if they're going to go crazy and go nuts, let's just let them do it.
You know what it is, Flobo?
What is it?
Let me be an old man for a second.
Dígame.
The problem is we live in a 5-star society.
Okay.
Where everything's 5 stars.
Sure.
You know? Like, there's no nuance anymore. It's very pass fail. Everything is either the greatest thing ever, or it's like, oh my God, it was awful.
Right.
You know, you need average sometimes to appreciate greatness.
I'm with that.
You know?
Right.
And so I'm just saying these responses like, oh my God, everything's amazing. That's great. Like we were watching a review of a hotel in Hawaii by a travel YouTuber, and everything was like, oh my God, there's free soap in the bathroom? Heck to the yeah. Like, right. But it's like, yeah, there's free soap in every hotel bathroom. That's kind of a thing, you know?
Sure.
But oh my God, a mini fridge. Whoa. Like, it's just like, dude, like.
Okay. So, but that is different, Glenn. You cannot compare a place where you would theoretically poop and sleep to entertainment. Like when you buy a ticket, you got to feel like it's a party that's going on without you, and you want to be good.
You want a hot crowd. You want a hot crowd.
I am with you. I detest like lame matches when someone does like a body slam and you get the "this is awesome" chant out of nowhere. If that's too early, I can't stand that. But if you're flying across the world, it's the first show in 3 years and they're going nuts, sign me up.
Okay, but here's the point in this though.
Hit me.
This breeds complacency because now WWE's attitude, as they've given us a couple of these like C-level pay-per-views that get bumped up to a B because the crowd is at an A+ level, WWE becomes to say, well, we don't really have to give the best stuff. We don't have to work with story-wise.
Right. So I actually agree with that, but disagree with that. And the reason I disagree with that is in this modern era, we don't have hot potatoes of titles anymore. People book from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. So now these shows by default are going to mean less. And so I ask you this, do you want these pay-per-views in Indianapolis where everyone goes, what? No, or if you want to have these lame ass matches over there in Pakistan where they go, oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, but still work hard to earn the heck yeah. That's
what I'm working hard.
No, I'm creative wise. I'm not talking about the wrestlers. WWE talent are incredibly hardworking. They put their bodies on the line for us each and every night. They travel around the world through these grueling travel schedules. I have nothing but respect to them. But creative, the people that book those matches between, we need compelling side quests. You know?
I get that, and I think that they should always do more. Even though I personally love Worlds Collide, I love when smaller talents get a chance to do things.
Absolutely.
And I do think that, especially post Mania, there is a bit of saying, let's just book the next big show.
Yes.
And King of the Ring did feel like an exhibition, and Clash of the Castle does feel like an exhibition. But I'm telling you, Glenn, if some dude from Dundee flies into Scotland and is having the time of his life, I can't stop him.
I don't fault him for that. I don't fault him for that.
Awesome.
But then here's the other thing. So now we get back. By the way, new Wyatt Family launches Monday on Raw. But we get back and we got like 2 weeks now to build Money in the Bank.
Right.
Or 3 weeks.
Right.
To build Money in the Bank. So that's where it becomes an expense of the larger level stuff. Is that it's like, well, we can't do this yet. You know, okay, so yes, they're planting the seeds for bigger 6-man tag involving the Bloodline, maybe KO, Street Profits.
Sure.
Or maybe Randy Orton's going to join that, and then we get Jacob Fatu, and we got a nice 4-on-4 situation going. Like, that storyline makes sense. It's been building. It's organic. But I'm saying they got to kind of, and LA Knight and Logan Paul, that's building, it's organic. But whoever Cody is facing a Money in the Bank,
right?
You got 3 weeks.
This is what I'm saying, man. Like, I think WWE knows that. There's, at the top of it, there's too many PLEs bunched up together right now. There's just too many of it. But if all these shows were domestic, I think you would see that more. You would say, look, man, I'm not going to go and see Money in the Bank if it's in Miami, if I'm going to go and see Clash at the Castle, wherever their castle is in this country.
No, and I agree. It's good. No, let me be perfectly clear. It's good they're going around the world to do shows in new and interesting places. But I think they're coasting a little bit.
Right.
On that versus this is WWE. That there no one has claimed that the quality of what they've done post-Mania is anywhere near where they were pre-Mania. And so to your point, like Isla and Alba getting a promo tonight before their triple threat match against Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and then Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, like, we know how that match is going. I love Isla and Alba. I love Shayna and Zoe, but you could argue that on a logistical level, like, that match, like, Shayna and Zoe could be built to tell that as a really credible match, but they haven't done that. Like, again, everything's an exhibition at some point. I mean, so let's run down the card, but I'm not hating on the fact they're going places.
I'm not hating either, but you're assuming that the person that decides where the stops for the tour bus are, that those are the drivers, right? The writer's room have their assignment. They got to fill the card, and that's what they're doing. So yes, the matches themselves, storyline-wise, are going to be a little flat, but they know the talent are going to bring it, and people are still on board, and these places are starving for content. I do think there are two different departments or multiple departments working together, but at the end of the day, I'd rather them do that. I'd rather us go, this is awesome, than have these 5-star matches that are built over 8 or 9 months, and we're all sitting on our hands going, what?
There's got to be a happy in between. That's what I'm saying.
Impact is as it is.
Yes. Let's talk about the card. For
I don't want to.
You don't want to? You're done?
I'm done.
What if we talked about the card from Scotland? Then you'd be excited to do it.
Hey, Glasgow's actually one of my favorite cities on the planet, so why not?
I'm sure. Alicia gets it. They need to have time between PLEs to build matches. There ain't no time.
Do you people believe in these new characters? This is the question I have. AJ Styles is somebody that was always in the background, and you could build an AJ Styles story domestically for 6 months, but we won't believe it. But he went to France for one match, and the phenomenal chants and everything was great, and he wanted to retire, and that trended on social. Like, I do think there is some benefit for manipulating or leveraging the international audience to have us care about characters you weren't caring about.
Let me give flowers for a second on this. I would say running back what we just saw in France, a little lazy, but they did go to extraordinary lengths to build that, to make it relevant and fresh, and they referred to AEW as not by name tonight. That was good. Fair
enough.
But if you look at this card, Bayley versus Piper, Sammy versus Gable. Okay, we're doing it again. I get it. Cody versus AJ, sure. Priest versus McIntyre. They've built a bit, but I feel like I hope they surprise us. Bianca and Jade versus Alba and Isla and Shayna and Zoe. I mean, this feels like half a pay-per-view.
Okay, so what's the solution here? Not going to Scotland? Less pay-per-views?
No.
What?
But here's what they need to figure out. Okay. And NXT gets this pretty well. It's like the nighttime soap opera phenomenon. Soap operas don't just tell like 5 stories that all culminate at the same time. There's overlap. So I'm saying that we can have the seeds of something planted. It escalates. It gets different. Like they can layer this. Okay. You know what I mean?
I mean, they are, but what do you mean that they're not doing?
Well,
because like Gable and Zayn is like 4 months going.
What's been going on?
Drew and Damian Priest has been a month. The tag team thing has been a couple weeks.
Well, my specific point is that I think this is going to hurt Money in the Bank. I think what they're banking on, no pun intended,
is that pun intended. That was a pun intended.
Is that the Money in the Bank match is such a strong gimmick? They're like,
it
just put on 2 of those, and then we only need like 3 other matches. And
second to the Rumble, the bank sells itself.
Great gimmick. I like Money in the Bank better than Survivor Series. I've said that in all 8 years I've been doing this show.
Survivor Series is totally worthless at this point. But what I'm saying is you could have Money in the Bank with all rookies, and that will be, even with NXT Battleground, you didn't care who was in the ladder match. Ladder matches, the multiple person ladder matches always sell. So yeah, Money in the Bank is fine. I'm worried about SummerSlam. As a SummerSlam guy,
oh, that's right.
Of all the big 4 or the big 5, those get tossed together and no one cares.
SummerSlam is 3 weeks after Money in the Bank. So this is my point, Flobo. It's too much without, like, it's just a little too much all at once. And I think that they have to be at their A game storytelling wise to pull this off. It should be like, I mean, maybe it's not a favorable comparison. Marvel movies, each movie is an individual story with a lot going on, but everything's kind of was building to Infinity War.
I thought your original point is that we're being too excitable as a crowd. And
no, I'm saying being excitable as a crowd is what lets them feel like, this is fine. Like, the crowd's going to eat it up. Wow. They're going to cheer. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying.
Well, save SummerSlam is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, we've ran this into the ground. Let's talk about...
Gotta go the whole hour. Broadway.
Yes. Later, and then there'll be a rap breakdown. Spoken word section.
Yeah. Glenn, it's so hard on me, like a punch in the face.
Have a soliloquy. I'll have an I Want song. It'll be great. Okay, so let's go with Bayley versus Piper Niven. I'm putting everything I own on Piper.
Oh, man, I'll take Rio because it's going to be the role model. By the way, I love her theme song, but pick a side. Is it going to be the first 20 seconds or the 21 seconds on? 2 songs match together doesn't work. But
what's the sound drop saying at the beginning of that?
Role model.
Role model.
Yeah.
God forbid WWE discovers artificial intelligence music generation, because it's all over then. We might get some better stuff than what we have now.
All I'm saying is pick a side. Either the song should be the first 20 seconds repeating or the next 20 seconds repeating. Not like both of them.
Okay, so we got Bayley on that. Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable, though.
I am not a Sami Zayn fan. I think he shoehorned himself in that division. I think 6 months ago, we all wanted Chad Gable to win it as a babyface. They forced him to turn heel to make Sami Zayn get his moment at WrestleMania. They dethroned Gunther, which makes no sense because if someone's going to take down Gunther, it should be somebody who thinks wrestling is also sacred in Chad Gable. Now's the time for Chad Gable to win.
Did he re-sign?
Chad, I'm not so sure.
Yeah. I mean, if he didn't re-sign, it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he re-signed, though.
Maybe.
I could see an upset. I could see that happen.
I'll be upset if Sami Zayn wins.
Okay. What about Bianca and Jade versus Alba Fire and Isla Dawn and Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark?
Yeah, it's got to be, I don't think they have a name, but Bianca and Jade, the Stormist. The Stormiest.
The Stormiest?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're win. That was weird. Now Flobo's fault. Okay, there we go. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, that would be a weird Cody and AJ.
It's gotta be Cody. Match. It's gotta be Cody. He has to win this one. Second time, put it out there. He doesn't say I quit.
What if Cody says I quit, and in kayfabe they make it seem like, oh, Cody's quitting again?
Right. No, that's not gonna work. It has to be AJ all day.
Yeah, Cody's winning this. Priest versus McIntyre, which going back to WrestleMania when Priest cashed in and won this World Heavyweight Championship, people said, well, Drew's going to win it at Clash of the Castle. Are they going to surprise us in how he gets there? Will CM Punk make an appearance?
CM Punk makes the appearance. Yes, I do think Drew wins it because CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship prints money.
CM Punk was at Battleground. I saw him being escorted out, like power walking to his car after the show.
Wow, he drives?
No, he was passenger.
Oh, makes sense.
It was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it. Clash at the Castle. Wrestling Inc. covering this tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Me and Jack Farmer, man. It'll be a good time having us together, making it happen.
You guys always seem like you're having so much fun together.
Yeah, I mean, Jack and I have been doing these shows for like 6 years back to back, so
wow.
It's kind of a thing.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish you could have been out here for Battleground. It was a trip. I talked about this Tuesday. I learned an NXT secret, which I guess some people knew about. NXT starting at during the pandemic. Remember when they had the Performance Center cruise there in plexiglass? NXT has a producer who kind of serves a bit as a hype man during the show.
I saw the video, yeah.
Yeah, I met him. Nice guy.
Oh, nice.
But once you see him, though, like it's like sometimes he's hyping the audience, sometimes like he's conducting the audience, sometimes he's a human applause sign. Like I couldn't take my eyes off him during the main event.
Mesmerizing.
It was. And we saw Ash by Elegance. Dana Brooke was back. Like it was exciting. I was stoked. I was right on the ramp. It was an exciting show. I'm glad I got to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone there was very nice. Lola Vice, such a baby face when the cameras turned off.
I bet
personally
she was.
Thanking people in the audience for wearing her merch.
I bet she was.
What?
I mean, no, I don't see any Lola Vice haters on social, so.
She was like very gracious to the fans that were wearing her merch there. It was nice. It was a nice one. NXT Underground match. Strangest thing watching two MMA fighters pulling punches and having a worked MMA fight.
It is weird. This is why when it was Raw Underground, I had the same issues. But hey, look, I think it's a cool signature match for both Eddie Thorpe and Lola Vice to have.
Yeah. Oh, and Sol Ruka, absolute superstar in person.
Oh wow! Oh,
like just cool. Seeing her reaction from the crowd. The fact they give her that vignette on Tuesday. Yeah, they gave her a winner's vignette even though she lost. Like
yeah.
She's getting a title soon.
Well, I always say when the new title is inaugurated, it's always the second person who gets that title is the one that we associate it most with. You know?
Yeah. So Damian Priest with the World Heavyweight Championship? Or Drew because he had it for a minute?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Drew will be the one that we associate with it when it's all
there you
said.
Go. Cool, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Flobo's at Flobo Boyce. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll catch you back here next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.
DrapedInGold.com.